Are you invincible when it comes to privacy?
Are you invincible when it comes to your internet freedom?
Are you invincible when it comes to convenience?
Are you invincible when it comes to security?
Are you invincible when it comes to speed?
Be invincible with NordVPN as they proudly power the AFTV Matchday Live experience.
And now, the 2-year plan comes with a huge discount of 4 extra months for free for our fans.
Click the link to be invincible.
Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV, welcome to the Starting 11 show and welcome to our coverage of the North London derby. It's Arsenal versus Tottenham at the Emirates Stadium, 12:30 kickoff UK time here, and we're so excited, maybe a little bit nervous as well, but let's welcome the planet. Let's welcome the panel, first and foremost. Lead judges, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
How you doing?
I'm good, all good. Nervous.
Good.
Nervous.
Yeah, I imagine. Let's welcome Helen. And of course, Julian. Look at that.
I cannot. Oh, go on in. Go on in.
Well, listen, welcome,
Where are
guys.
his flowers?
Well, what do you mean it's flowers?
I don't know, you're like all excited. Where are your flowers?
Always excited watching Arsenal.
Listen, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome everyone who's watching. We see you guys in the comment section. In about half an hour's time, we're going to find out the starting 11, and obviously we're incredibly excited to see what Arsenal and Arteta are going to go with. Before we do, though, I just want to proudly announce our new digital partner, NordVPN, who will be powering the AFTV Matchday experience. A round of applause for them. Absolutely. Must mention that for all you fans around the world who value your privacy, your digital security and your freedom to roam the internet as you choose and at your convenience, on doing so on multiple devices, be invincible and click the link in the description below to get the NordVPN on a 2-year deal with 4 months free, and coming soon as well is the AFTV Metaverse. We've got loads of really exciting stuff, but go check out NordVPN. And I know you are a massive fan of NordVPN.
I do. I used it when I was on holiday. It's fantastic. Yeah. I recommend it.
Watching Arsenal collect all those 3 points.
I was watching the Arsenal games, match of the day. You can watch anything, which is over in England, because it tells you you're sort of in England. It was fantastic, and I think for something like when you're on holiday and all that, it changes your holiday, James. Changes your holiday.
Guys, definitely go check out. As I said, the link is in the description below, and a big thank you to them powering, as I said, the AFTV Matchday experience for the season. Now, the matchday experience starts here with the starting 11, with that anticipation, that build-up. We're here to ponder and guess and probe the ideas, I suppose, as to what Arteta might do. I think we know mostly what we might see from Arteta. I'm going to start with you, Helen. The big debate. I did a space live on Twitter last night, and everyone was torn between Tierney and Zinchenko. What do you want to see?
Oh, that's a very good one, that is, because both bring different elements. I think we'll go with Zinchenko.
You think we'll go with Zinchenko? What do you
yeah.
think his kind of theory will be around that?
I just think for that bit more experience and maybe defensive security, because potentially with Tierney maybe going a little bit high up, it leaves them able to hit us on the counter-attack.
That's interesting. We know Tierney's one who likes to overlap and get forward and stretch the pitch, but he's recently had to tuck in a little bit. He's probably defensively a little bit more secure than Zinchenko, but technically it's Zinchenko. Do you have a preference, Julian?
Marginal, I would go for Tierney, because I think he's more defensive-minded. I, for one, I just don't want to see us lose. Of course I want to see us win, but losing today would just be disastrous. I think if you look back at last season when we lost, I know it didn't happen after when we went to Brentford, but we had this spate of games where we lost one and then it continued. We lost them in groups, and losing to Spurs would just be, I think it could be disastrous. It would have a knock-on effect for the Liverpool game. I think we're still a little bit, I wouldn't want to call it a glass chin, but we're still young and it could knock the confidence. So as long as we don't lose, I'm happy-ish.
Haven't we been critical of Arteta in the past, though? Maybe not this season, where maybe he's actually been considered a little bit too naive and a little bit too on the front foot. But haven't we been in the past critical of the football sometimes being boring, or Arsenal not maybe really going for it or whatever? So do we not want to see someone like Zinchenko who's going to give us that security?
Listen, I think if you had 50 Arsenal fans on at the moment, 25 would say Tierney, 25 would say Zinchenko. And that's the decision that the manager's got to make. I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
And
I'll be honest, I'm not overly bothered.
I'm not bothered,
That is the great thing about Arsenal at the moment. I don't care who plays at left back. I don't care who plays at right back, whether it be Ben White or Tommy Yasu. We've got that.
We've got the depth
in the side. We haven't got that in midfield, so that's why today I'm nervous until that team comes out to see if the number 5's playing, and that's the big worry for me, like, you know. But a great point that Julian makes there, and this is why I think this is a big game for Arsenal. Not because it's Spurs. Forget about it being Spurs. It's a big game because we lost to Man United. If we were to lose today and then lose to Liverpool, it'd be 3 games out of 4. And then it's all the same sort of things of last season, like, you know.
That's a really good point.
And what I'm looking at and thinking is, like, this looks like a different Arsenal. We need to show on the pitch it's a different Arsenal as well. This is a statement win today. We're at home. That's the thing. Our next 2 games are at home. We must nail these 2 games at home.
Yeah, I completely agree. Gunnar Vettel says, I prefer Tierney to start. If Zinchenko starts, I think we will beat them. A few people agreeing as well. Rochelle looking for an Odegaard and Gabriel Jesus masterclass incoming. Okay, well, I'm sort of with you. I don't really care.
Who do you think?
Zinchenko for me. I also think
I think Zinchenko will play.
It's who I play, and I think that's who he'll play.
Yeah,
I think he's going to think, this is... Let's put this right. Football's short, right? You never know what's going to happen or whatever. He might be thinking, it's a North London derby at home. Let's say things go wrong, or one day I'll test out the Arsenal manager. He might look at certain games and think, why did I go for it? Why did I show people what I want to show in terms of the football? And that's what I've really enjoyed about Arsenal this season. I think he'll go with Zinchenko like he did at Old Trafford, because he'll basically say, I'm here to play and dominate. And I bet if we put in that same performance at Old Trafford today, yes, we lost that game. I think we win that game 8 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10 with that performance.
What would you do differently, though,
from
that day?
Well, I mean, I think the subs came too early. Therefore, we left ourselves a bit exposed. Now we were 2-1 down already. And therefore, they got the third, and we kind of lost our rhythm. I think you should have trusted, maybe make one change, but should have trusted the players that are out there to keep going, because they were the better team that day and they were creating chances. But I say that we're not too bothered about those positions, Helen. Let me ask you, what positions are we bothered about? Who do you have to see in the 11 today?
The spine. I want to see Saliba, Partey, Jesus. For me, that's been pinnacle of this new side. So when we don't have Thomas Partey, we all know, you know. So for me, that he's a key player in our midfield.
Ramsdale part, that's fine.
Yeah, definitely. But that's almost a given that he's going to be in goal, isn't it?
It is, but I mean, you know, it'd be typical Arsenal, wouldn't it? Oh, we picked up a knock in training and all that. But I'm with you. I think if we see Ramsdale, Saliba, Gabriel, Partey, and then Jesus, and you've got that kind of middle of the pitch.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed you're going to win, but it'll give you the confidence.
No, I just feel we're stronger.
Yeah, I'm with Helen on that. It will give us that little bit of strength. And it's a good spine, by the way. That is a very good spine. Now, just going back to that Man United game, who wasn't playing in that game?
Partey. Yeah, that's for me the difference.
So it's a key. It's a key position. Like, you know, we lost the midfield. I think today, Spurs have set up the way that they've set up all the time. I've got a little feeling that they'll change that today.
You think?
Yeah,
well, like a third
I think
midfielder?
Basuma will come in today.
Wow.
Because I think Arsenal dominate midfields. The reason they dominate midfields is they've got 2 like big, strong players in there who are experienced, you know, 30 and 29 in Xhaka and Partey. If Partey comes out of that, takes a little bit out of us. Now, if Tottenham go that route and Partey's not in it, then I will be worried. So because, like, you know, it's matched up, like. But if, you know, like, I don't think it'd be such a bad thing if they do play their 3 up top and Lokonga comes in there. But for me today, Thomas Partey is key. You know, and this is the problem that I've got with Arsenal and Edu and the Arsenal board at the moment, is that for the life of me, you know, I know that you could talk about El Neni, and I think that's probably right. El Neni, if Partey's not fit, El Neni would come in there. But when we lost El Neni, I'm pretty sure we lost him in that January time. Was it August time? I think we play against Leicester. Yeah. That we knew we needed someone. Yeah. You know, that he was going to be out till Christmas. Why they never ever gone and got no one? I don't care about overpaying or whatever. I don't want to go every week till the transfer window worrying if this man plays or not. And that's what we've got at the moment. Like, you know, he's such an important player for us, but he, you know, he's like a chocolate teapot, isn't he? Like, you know what I mean? Not reliable.
Yeah, but if you don't worry about overpaying, then we're going to be in a situation we could possibly end up being like a Leeds. You know, you can't just go out and spend 50, 60, 70 million on someone that's going to be there for when Partey gets injured. You either have to take Partey out and replace him, because this idea of I don't care.
Done it with Tierney.
Yeah.
Done exactly the same thing with Tierney.
You need competition in every position.
But we have competition. We've got players that can come in.
They're not as good.
But then the second string team are never going to be as good, because by definition that's why they're the second string team.
The difference with Zinchenko is because he can play in midfield as well. You feel that
He's
actually you've got
you've got that someone that can play two different positions.
Well, that's why I like Tielemans, because
that's
he
why
can play in
both
positions.
Exactly. And I'm not saying you would have gone and bought him. You know, I'm talking probably 10 million over the top for him to get him.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like we probably get him for 15 to 20 million in January. But I get. Listen, I get what Julian's saying. If El Neni was fit, it wouldn't be a problem. But when El Neni got injured, Arsenal had to do something.
Just
and
makes you question the ambition.
Especially when, not necessarily the ambition. I go on, but especially when you know that Partey's record, what it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
now, another thing with Partey, like, going, I've got to say this. Arsenal and Arteta are in a good little position here going into this October, where everybody's playing lots of games. We don't have to play our top players going into the Europa League. Yeah. We can rest them. So for this month, realistically, Partey can play Saturday, rest Thursday, play Sunday, Saturday. If he cannot manage that now, how is he going to manage that in February when you've got to be playing Saturday, Tuesday? So it's a big call what happens in that. I expect to see him on the pitch today. If I'm not, I'm questioning what is going on with the board level and the recruitment, because this should have been sorted and addressed.
Fair enough. Well, look, we're not anticipating any problems on the injury front. We think Partey is going to be fit. I want to take this in a different direction, though, Julian. You've been to many North London derbies, and listen, we know as fans, whether you're watching on TV, whether you're in the ground, whatever it is, we know the emotion of the game. And that's something that we saw in All or Nothing. Arteta likes to play on sometimes. We saw Stuart McFarlane doing the speech, for example, before the North London derby at home last year. We won 3-1. Clearly it worked. Yeah. We've also seen him do other things, the light bulb. We've seen him talk about, attacking and playing forward and all these things. But we've also seen Arsenal go over the line. Now, you could say that's the naive to the young team or whatever, and maybe not being able to handle the occasion, but sometimes I think that also stems from the manager, and that he can also get quite emotional on the touchline. He can also get quite intense and maybe, dare I say, kind of because he's not the one kicking a ball, he almost feels more frustration and tension than the players out there. How important is it that Arteta almost keeps a degree of calm? Because the fans are going to be unbelievable. We know that. We know they're going to unsettle the Tottenham players. I was saying on Forever Arsenal, I think it's about the Arsenal players doing their job and just playing the football and let the antagonising happen from the 55,000 Arsenal fans that are there.
Early goal.
Well, early goal, but just they're going to try and leave one on you. They're going to try and break the game up. They're going to try and make it a little bit awkward. Don't rise to that, in my opinion.
So what you want is him to instil some calmness into the team?
I think so.
I don't think so.
He won't. He'll have them pumped.
No, I don't think he should do that. When you look at the North London derbies, they tend to win at their place. We tend to win at our place. Now, I'm trying to get my head around this, that you've got two teams. They're the same two teams. The pitches are pretty much like carpets in the Premier League. So you can't say that one team's more used to playing on a particular pitch. The pitches are also similar dimensions. They're not even having to travel. So why do Spurs normally win at Spurs and we normally win at our place?
Pride.
No,
the crowd.
It's the crowd, the atmosphere. And what happens with the atmosphere, it instills into the players, and they're not calm. If you went out and you played calmly and relaxed, you're going to lose. Because football, for all the tactical elements of it, I think the key ingredient to winning football matches is enthusiasm and work rate. And what happens at our place and at their place is that the crowd instill this extra, it might be a few percent extra effort, maybe belief. And at that kind of level, because these two teams are pretty finely matched. I'm not going to, I mean, we can laugh at Tottenham, the fact that they don't have any trophies, but it's always been pretty close. Maybe for the last 10 years, it's been close. But you look at the records at each ground, it's not close at all. So it must be the crowd. What do the crowd do to the players? They instill this enthusiasm, not a calmness. So I don't think Arteta should start calming the players down. Yes, we should be disciplined and we should keep our heads, because there's a fine line between just flying in.
Sorry to cut you, we need Jesus not to pick up a card today in this match, because he will miss the Liverpool game, God forbid, if he picks up a card.
I don't think we need to worry about Liverpool. Let's worry about Liverpool next week.
It's a great argument. He's made me really rethink my thoughts. But
I think with just quickly going on the Gabriel thing, just play as you go. Like, I don't want him thinking, I've got a booking.
No, but I don't want to see him get a card.
I don't care if he gets a booking today. Like, if it means us winning today,
worry about that next week.
That's the end of it. Like, he's got to play his normal game without worrying about that. Because if you start worrying about that, it takes a bit off of his game. So I'm in that. I'm with Julian on this about the crowd as well. Like, listen, I'm confident today. Why am I confident? Because we're at home.
Yeah.
Right. If we're away, I'm nervous and I'm thinking, it's like Arsenal fans would be when we're going away. We're going, what do you think we're going to be? We're going, we'll take a draw, but deep down you're thinking, we might lose this. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what Tottenham fans are saying now. Like, they're worried about it because we're at home. And I do think there is a thing about the crowd. I think when you play in front of crowds that and it's a great point that Julia makes. I think that when you're going up to Manchester and you're going in a hotel and things like that, your environment changes, and that does help. But when it comes down to it, there's not that much travelling and whatever. Like, probably staying in the same hotel today and whatever that they do. It does come down to that when you've got the backing of the fans. You know what I mean? Like, and you know that they're behind you, they've got your back. I think it does help.
Listen, it absolutely does. I'm not denying what the crowd can do, and I agree. It gives you the extra, and if it motivates you and it gives you the extra percent, that's brilliant. All I'm saying is, I think that's more. Let me give you a good example. We played Man City at home. We were the underdogs. We were expected to lose. City were on a great run. We thought they'd steamroll. I think in that situation, City are the better team, so we need the extra percent, and the crowd are going to do it anyway. But to say to the players, feed off that, believe in yourselves, they believe in you, we're all in this together, I think that works. I actually think on a footballing level, we're a better team than Tottenham. I believe we are today a better team than Tottenham. So I almost would want to remove a little bit of the emotion and say, focus on your football. Because if you focus on that, don't get involved in their antics, don't get involved in their scraps, let the crowd make it uncomfortable for them, you will win this game. And I just think there have been times where I've seen Arsenal get just creep over the edge at times under Arteta, and it's just like don't be passionate, but there's that fine line between that's a little too much. You've flown into attack where you didn't need to, you picked up a book you didn't have to, you got involved in a scrap, you found yourself with a yellow. I think Arsenal, the best thing they can do, Tottenham will try and kill our rhythm by trying to be nasty, breaks of
Break
play,
up the play.
fouls. Arsenal just go cool, been fouled. Ball down, go again. Pass, keep it moving. Pass. You fouled me, cool. Get up and go again. I think if we just they knock us down, we get up, we give them push, all that. I just think that feeds into what they want, which is a really broken, bitty, horrible game.
Yeah, and that's the reason, in my view, we're not in the Champions League this season, because Rob Holding got suckered into not playing that game. Yeah, he was so enthusiastic. To me, that's borderline cheating, how he got him sent off, but he got him sent off. The reality is they're in the Champions League, we're not. He got suckered in. So you mentioned earlier that Arteta, when he's later on in life, might have some regrets about not going for things, but we went for it.
You're right. I'm contradicting myself. You are right.
My recollections of that game at White Hart Lane was that we were the better team. We started off, thought, we're going to win this. We're all over them.
I agree with that, yeah.
And then we went for it. And the same happened actually at Man City. Away, we ended up losing 5-0, but for the first 7 minutes, we went for it. So it doesn't always work that if you go for it, and this is the difference with Conte, is that he doesn't go for it, but he still gets the results. And ultimately, you've got to decide,
is football
an entertainment? Are they there to entertain us? No, because our biggest entertainment is winning the game.
Exactly. Not
being entertained. I would far rather Arsenal win 1-0, a nice scrappy goal off a corner, deflection, off someone's bum, great in the 91st minute, than seeing us lose 5-4 in the most terrific game.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we've all got slightly conflicting there. We want to be entertained. We want Arsenal to go for it. I'm just
Secondary.
I'm just saying that the best, and Man City are so good at it.
It's just key games.
The best Man City have this ability to almost bore the opposition. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we've kept the
not that
ball, we're
exciting.
moving it around.
We've done it at Brentford.
That's exactly what we
We've
did.
done it at Brentford, and that was the most controlled game of football I've seen for a very, very long while.
Yeah.
But don't get kidded into this thing is, we played well for 10 minutes at Tottenham, we played 10 minutes. They allow you that. Tottenham allow you to come onto you so they can hit you on the break.
So you can make the error.
So when it,
which
this
is
thing
what I'm
about
saying,
stats,
we shouldn't play that way. We shouldn't go for it.
we need to have our own plan.
At home today, we've got to do that, but we've play sensible, like, you know what I mean, like, you know, just keep it, play smart.
The theme of
be cautious of that. I hate this statistic when they say, like, we dominated the play, look, 60-40 and all that. There's teams like Tottenham that allow that. They beat Leicester 6-2 with less
possession, less shots
than Leicester. Less shots, less possession. And all that. That is the fact of the matter is that they will let you do that because they're ruthless at what they do. So when we go into it today, I'll go back to the time. So the reason, you know, I know you can talk about Rob Holding as the fault that the reason Arsenal didn't get to top 4 last season was because they had Conte and we had Arteta. Arteta fell into the trap. Don't fall into the trap with Conte. You know what I mean? Particularly like the reason we beat these last time at home 3-0 is because I know it's a different manager and all that. Is that they sat there, we took our chances early, and that is the important thing today. We play sensible. When we get that first chance, James, we have to score it.
But this is why maybe we see Arteta's animated on the touchline sometimes or so intense, because here we are. I think we've sort of debated 2 or 3 different things, but they all follow a similar theme. And actually, I think each individual is given a slightly different. I think we've all slightly contradicted ourselves in certain ways, and this must be what Arteta's feeling. He must be in his office. I don't think the 11 will have been submitted by now, but right until that last minute, thinking, but what if this? But what if I stop that? Actually, what if we played this? He'll be plotting and planning, and actually, when it all comes down to it, everything we've just said, take your chances, Jesus. Take your chances,
100%. And if you go back to that Tottenham game, we didn't take our chances that night. Hence why the score. Yeah, but the first few we had were in them first 10 minutes that you guys remember. We had a couple. We didn't put none of them away. We were arguing if we had a so-called striker who would have put it away first time. 1-0 up.
But no,
and you would sign
we had chances. We had
chances.
Manchester United, we had chances. And missed them.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. And then like they hit you on the break and they're ruthless. And I think even in the Man United game, we had more possession than him.
We did.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean to say that we was the better team. That's because they've allowed it to happen, like, you know, to get us into those situations on the break. That's what Tottenham will do today. I don't care what anybody says today.
That's their
They will
strength.
allow us to have possession to get us 3-on-3 with their 3 players. That's what they're
I just wonder if
so that's why we've got to play Tierney, so we don't have. So we've got a little bit more strength when they hit us. Because they are going to hit us. But the 3 of you said you'd rather Zinchenko for this game.
I never said that. I said I think that Arteta will play him.
Okay, so what do you want? Who would you
I would go Tierney today for that reason. But I don't think this other thing about Zinchenko's a bad defender. No, he's not.
No, he's not as good. Actually, very good.
He's not as good. But so I think you weigh it up and see who's the best. I think Tierney's done well in his last cut. Listen. We dominated a game of football at Brentford. Why not play that same back 4?
I'm getting nervous now.
Why not play that same back 4?
No,
Tony
Tony
never got a kick. Why not play that same back 4?
Because we're not playing Brentford.
Huh?
We're not playing Brentford today. It's a different game.
Courses and all that. Listen, the reality is
it's close. I mean, as you said, you know, I mean, half of us would want Tierney, half of us would want Zinchenko. There's not a lot in it. As long as we've got one or the other, none of us are particularly upset.
The big worry for me today, going into this game, I'll be really honest, is we conceded goals in every home game. Okay, we play in Fulham and Aston Villa, right? That play the same sort of way as Tottenham, but they have not got the firepower of Tottenham. We struggled to break down Fulham. We struggled to break. We actually played fantastically well in the first half against Aston Villa. It was only 1-0 up, and then we couldn't get the second goal. Why? Because we missed chance after chance after chance. Now, if that happens today, we have to take those chances because Tottenham are more lethal and more dangerous than them two teams put together.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So we will concede today because the way we play, because we are open. With the way we play at home, we're open. So when we get our chances, we must take them.
I agree with you. We've got a super chat here. Interesting. We're 5 minutes away from the starting 11 coming out, by the way. And after 25 minutes of discussion, I still don't feel really much clear in my mind about how I want Arsenal to approach it and necessarily which left back I prefer. I think it's Zinchenko, but listen, that's the problem Arteta's got in 5 minutes. We'll see what he's gone with.
It's not a problem. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, fair enough. Sir Charm says, it's a very strange question, but fair enough. He says, would you rather finish 5th with no Champions League football, obviously, finish 5th, okay, and Spurs finish 4th without going invincible for the season? So finish 4th, but they'd be invincible. Or we finish 4th, but Spurs finish 3rd without losing a game.
No.
They're never going to finish 3rd without losing a game, are they? How much do you pay for that?
Yeah. I'm confused.
Well, I mean, thank you. For what it's worth, I think that, for what it's worth,
I just want to say,
I'll go out of a drink with him. How much should those be? 60 quid?
Yeah. I think, to be fair, I'd pick 4th because we get Champions League football and they go 3rd undefeated, because wouldn't there be something quite comedic about...
I wouldn't want them going 3rd undefeated.
Listen, if they come 3rd...
Imagine you go undefeated and still don't win the league. That's hilarious.
I couldn't take them being undefeated.
Well, I think Liverpool lost one game and didn't win the league, didn't they?
Huh?
Did Liverpool lose one game and not win the league a couple of years ago?
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, because they nearly went unbeaten, didn't they?
Anyway, them lot are not going
undefeated. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't...
Well, let's try and stop that.
I'll ask the question, I'll ask it sensibly for him.
What would he like to
If they come 3rd and we come 4th, would you take that? That's what basically you're saying.
If they come 3rd and we come 4th.
Would you take that? I'll take it because at the end of the day, forget about them. It's where we want to go.
Yeah.
Okay, at the start of the season, I'd have said yes, but
not
today,
now.
I
don't care about Tottenham. I don't care about what they're doing. Yeah, I do. But I don't. What's more important is what happens to Arsenal.
Yeah.
I don't like if you know this thing now.
Yeah, you're right. I would.
Will you be happy if you come 5th if they come 6th?
No.
You know what I mean? It's all about Arsenal. Arsenal are on a upward curve, right? There's going to be a time. I said this on a show yesterday. Harry Kane, 200 Premier League goals he's going to get. Right.
What's he on?
I don't know how many he's on now, but he'll probably get that right.
Yeah.
Name another striker, another striker that's got 200 goals.
Yeah.
Alan Shearer, so long ago,
Bless him,
it doesn't come up along.
Yeah.
It doesn't. A striker like that doesn't come along every year and everything like that. So when that goes, there's a big chunk of them gone. Yeah. You know what I mean? So forget about them. You know what I mean? It's on the upward curve of us,
guys.
Is that
well, the Tottenham 11 is out.
Tottenham 11.
I bet Lloris is in goal.
As we go for it, Alexander B with the super chat says, "Hey guys, just checking in to say F Spurs." So thank you very much.
I bet Lloris is in goal.
All right, Lloris is in goal. Back 3 of Romero, Dyer, Longley.
Who? Who's that other one?
Yeah, he's a Barcelona.
Longley.
Long legs.
Long legs.
Yeah.
Emerson, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Perisic. Richarlison, Kane and Son.
Okay, so that means
so
that
Kulusevski's out. Kulusevski's out.
We've also had it confirmed 16 seconds ago from Charles Watts that Thomas Partey does in fact start for Arsenal.
Yes.
So in 1 minute we are going to get the
So Kulusevski's playing, is he?
He's not playing.
No, he's not playing.
He's not playing.
Richarlison.
So he's
he
not
picked up an injury.
Is he on the bench, Kulusevski?
Yeah, is he
I
on the
would
bench?
go for...
So they're playing that 2 in the midfield then?
They're going for 2. With the 2 I've forgotten. Was it Bentancur and Højbjerg? Yeah. Bentancur and Højbjerg. Perisic is he's a player, you know.
He is
He's a very, very good player with the ball. Without the ball, he's got...
Really? Is that right?
I reckon you beat him in a 100-metre race.
So who's that?
Really? Is he that slow?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
No way. Perisic?
Yeah.
Yeah, Perisic is slow.
He's good.
Is he?
Yeah, he's slow.
Julian could have him over 10 yards.
But a very, very, very good player. Very experienced.
He's dangerous though. He's a good ball
He's
carrier.
But he's not
slow,
that defensively minded.
No.
Yeah, I guess.
But watch him come on and score or something.
And Royale can exploit.
Come on, where about their team? Where's our team?
Well, it's 11:29. What do you want me to do? They've not released
So who's
it.
on the bench for them?
I didn't
on
get
their
that
bench?
far. We're going to find out in a sec. But if Kulusevski isn't playing, And we're going to find out any second
He
now
might be on
that
the
I would
bench.
want Zinchenko. Let's
He
see what he's going for.
potentially is.
It's out.
Oh, it's out! It's out! It's out! It's out!
Okay. Ramsdale in goal. No shocks there. White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko.
Way!
Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Jesus.
Okay, so, and who's on the bench?
That's quite strong.
Well, it's very strong.
Well, it's our strongest 11 that we've got at the moment, isn't it, really?
So I wouldn't.
People in the comments are really challenging this Perisic's slow thing. But fair enough. I mean, you're all saying I believe you. Right. Zinchenko's come in. I really believe it's because he didn't think Kulusevski was playing. I think if Kulusevski was playing, he's slightly different to Richarlison in that Kulusevski, he'll hang out wide, he'll get the ball, he can beat a few players, he can create whatever, and you want someone like Tierney who can defend him well one-on-one. Oh, they've got the Premier League trophy in the middle of the pitch at the Emirates. Bloody hell.
That's because we're going
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
going
yeah.
for
Of course.
it.
Yeah, nothing like jinx.
He'll be
and
back
all
there in
that.
May.
So he's coming to London.
Enhance it, my son. Enhance
Taste
it.
it.
Embrace
Let's
it.
just- let's just put the trophy there.
It's coming home.
But sorry, what was it? But with Richarlison, he's slightly different. He feeds off more service. He can get the ball and run. He can hold up the ball. He can link up. But I think he wants service. I think he wants the ball in beyond. I think he wants cross into the box. And so I think he feels that the way to deny them that, have Zinchenko control the ball in possession. What do you think, Helen?
I do, but get the subs up.
Yeah, get the subs up. Come on.
glad we had the show.
Is that Kulusevski? Is he on the bench?
Haven't got there.
Is what I can't
Arsenal
pronounce
subs
Thank you. That's what we're here for.
for Helen and Julian.
Yeah.
Turner, Tierney, Tomiyasu, Holding, Lukonga, Vieira, Marquinhos,
Fabregas,
Eddie Nketiah, and... Bet you can't guess who's back.
Nelson.
Or you can. Reece Nelson.
Yeah.
Reece Nelson back on the
Good
bench.
and I.
Yeah.
Hey, Cecil, I'm good.
With a little bit of
I
help.
missed that. Was Tierney on the bench?
Yes, he was.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Tierney was on the
So
bench,
We're,
yes.
we're really strong.
And we've got Fabio Vieira as well on the
Yeah.
bench.
A
So
reminder of the Tottenham team. Lloris, Emerson, Romero, Dyer, Longley, Perisic.
Partey.
Perisic and Emerson as wing-backs. Bentancur and Højbjerg, Richarlison, Son and Kane. They got Forster, Sanchez, Doherty, Spence, Sessegnon, Basuma, Skip, Sarr and Bryan on the bench.
So
no Kulusevski.
Good.
You know, famous last words.
And who have they got?
They've got
that
Richarlison,
could come on
He's
and
a
change the
dangerous
game for
player.
them. Because we've got loads of options from the bench. If things aren't going our way, we can change things. What can they do? Who have they got there?
They've got Basuma.
Yeah, but he's defensive.
Yeah, but no, not
yeah,
really.
but he's,
yeah,
he
yeah.
can control that midfield.
Do you know
no
what
problem.
I'd say? I know this might sound silly, but I think Conte tends to impact games from his wing backs. So it wouldn't surprise me if he brings on Spence and Sessegnon, for example,
yeah.
and suddenly Tottenham look a better team.
Spence, that guy from Forest. That plays
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
or
us.
Forest,
Doherty, and
yeah.
suddenly Tottenham look replenished just by refreshing the wing backs. I think that is something he might look to do. So it's. Listen, no Kulusevski's a good thing for Arsenal. I think he's a very, very good player. They're just talking. Is that Cesc Fabregas?
Yep,
Well, Cesc
with
Fabregas in
Mikel.
the building, alongside Mikel Arteta. I think I saw Rio Ferdinand there as well.
Yeah. I never
realised
I'd
he was
love to
blonde,
know what
Fabregas.
Fabregas thinks. I'd love to know what Fabregas thinks about this Arsenal team, and
I
obviously
think he would really like this Arsenal team.
I think he would.
He
too.
would see lots of things that he could like. That he likes. It will see the opportunities they're giving the young players. It will
Yeah.
remind him of his start-up career at Arsenal.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. I think he's actually on record as saying he doesn't like how robotic football's become. Remember the days
Yeah.
of Fabregas? Everything used to be so much
More
more
creative,
free-flowing.
yeah.
You'd end up anywhere, and it was.
He's not going to like Tottenham then, is he?
Well, no, but I don't even think he's actually going to particularly love the way City and Arsenal approach the game. But it's good football, but it's very orchestrated and controlled.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go through some comments and super chats. Nikhil says, from the lineup, I'm pretty sure we've got enough to dominate midfield. 3-2 Arsenal. God,
Come on.
that would give me a heart attack.
What are your score predictions then, boys?
I went for a 2-1 Arsenal win.
3-2 I did.
3-2.
3-2-2-1.
I want to say 2-0. Like, my heart would love a 2-0 because I'd love a clean sheet and stop Harry Kane scoring
I'd love to
against
say
us.
8-0.
Well, ideally I want 6-0, but that's really not going to happen.
It could happen, Ellen, it could.
You reckon? 6-0, but yeah.
Go on,
I
be
think
brave.
3-1. I think 3-1.
Julian?
Go on, Julian, be brave.
I'm always confident. I can never see Arsenal losing. But when we play Tottenham, I studied probability.
Okay, what's the
Did you? You studied
probability?
probability?
Yeah, I studied probability and the calculations
He's very
behind
calculated,
behind
this one.
probability. And even when one team's better than the other team, is that you play the same game so many times, then you are going to get a different result eventually. And I've been to pretty much every Arsenal Spurs game since probably the mid-80s. And very few I remember Spurs winning. There's two that I remember, which was 93 when we had a shadow team because we were playing the FA Cup the next weekend, so we didn't really bother about that. And the other one in 2010 when we were by far the better team.
Yeah, we lost 3-2.
We lost 3-2. We were 2-0 up at half time. And I just worry that however good we are, however, when you look at it on paper and you think back at the fact that we've done so well over the years against them, that eventually, something freakish will happen. And it's overdue, that freakish result.
That's nice.
Hopefully not today.
I really bad.
I feel I've got to go to the toilet.
Oh
I've
my
definitely got to go.
This one's depressing today.
Yeah, and I actually dreamt it last night. I had a
my
bad dream
God.
and we lost.
God.
So
I dreamt you had hair, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. Did you dream you had hair? So I look at the probability and I just think we're due something freakish happening. I can see us losing 2-1 today.
You know, we lost at the end of the season and we didn't get top four.
We
It's
got involved.
really
He's normally a dead.
but today,
I go, but doom and gloom, I've never heard of that.
I've got a bad feeling about today, and it's
Oh my
nothing
God.
rational other than probability would dictate that at some point there's a freakish result and it's overdue, and that's it.
I saw
Right.
2 fat magpies this morning. Isn't it 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy? All right, change the subject.
Yeah, well, that didn't work because you're sitting next to Julian.
Yeah. Right, well, thank you for that,
I
Julian.
don't support Newcastle.
Is he really an Arsenal fan, this guy?
I hope you enjoy your day.
No, obviously I want
Have a
Arsenal
nice
to
day.
win, but I'm just
Look,
not
I'm
feeling
really
great.
anticipating a difficult match. I
Yeah.
really am. But I've just.
And I hate the way Spurs play, and they're going to cheat their way. If they do win, they'll just cheat their way to victory.
Listen, come on.
Right, let's get to his last couple comments. Robbie says, not John. AFTV Robbie. Robbie, the amazing Arsenal fan, who's got in touch, says Tierney always strives for Celtic against Rangers in the Old Firm. He's a big game player. He should be starting all day. He relishes these games. He definitely seems one whose level goes up for the big occasion. I will give him that.
Don't forget also.
I remember him in the FA Cup final.
I think, mate, let's not go too overboard about Tierney and well. Don't forget Tierney has played a couple of internationals before this.
Sure.
Zinchenko hasn't, so
Probably had more time to prep with him.
A little bit more time, a little bit fresher. There could be something in that. Like just there's little things that tip it over one way or the other, and I think that probably could be something to do with it as well.
Hope I pronounced this right. Malaki5 says, "Come on, you Gunners, sod off, you Spurs, love it." And we've got Turkish in the comments as well, who's praying for a win. Look, guys. That's the 11. Let's run through it one more time. It is Ramsdale in goal, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko in the back four, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard in midfield with Saka, Jesus and Martinelli. We're going to be live a little bit later, very soon after this stream. Check out. Do we have a confirmed time? I think we're live at 12.
Come on, Arsenal.
Very soon. Anyway, we're live at 12. We're live at 12. It's in 20 minutes. You've not got long to chill. Before we sort of bring more people. You see the chairs here, guys. There's more people coming to join us for the watch along. You guys have to get to the game.
We've got to go to the
and
game.
have 3 points to collect. So come on, boys. Let's go do it. Let's clap them off, guys.
Come on, Arsenal.
Let's
Come
get
on,
the win.
Arsenal.
And as always, a big thank you to NordVPN who are powering the AFTV Matchday experience for the rest of the Premier League season. Go check them out as well. The link is in the description below. Big thank you, guys. Come on, Arsenal.
Come on, you Gunners.
Come on.
Are you invincible when it comes to privacy?
Are you invincible when it comes to your internet freedom?
Are you invincible when it comes to convenience?
Are you invincible when it comes to security?
Are you invincible when it comes to speed?
Be invincible with NordVPN as they proudly power the AFTV Matchday live experience.
And now, the 2-year plan comes with a huge discount of 4 extra months for free for our fans.
Click the link to be invincible.